Right, hello and welcome to Rock Cycle. Today we're going to be looking at what is surely going to be the most controversial album of the year, even though we've only just left January. That is of course AMO by Bring Me the Horizon, and whether we think it was a success or a failure. Now there's certainly arguments going both ways for this, but first of all we're going to look at it as a success. This album was really heavily endorsed by so many different big names in the music world. Just going off on Twitter, there was like Don Broco, Hazley, Mike Shinoda, and so many different more architects as well. We're all endorsing it, all sharing about how much they like this album. So really getting all that support from within the music community has really helped boost them. And one thing we can't deny is this is Bring Me the Horizon's first ever #1 album, which is a really big deal for the band. So if you want to look at it as a financial success, then yes, surely it was. It's probably been their best sales as an album so far. But it was also a success as the album musically, and whether the album makes an impact, which are slightly different things. For musically success, were they good songs, and whether the album made an impact is whether it will affect the music scene. Now I think musically the album was a bit underwhelming and it wasn't a complete success, because that's kind of being expected going into this. It was an experimental album. Every song was different and every song was unique. So of course when you've got so many different styles going on, some are going to be a hit and some are going to be a miss. Especially when Bring Me the Horizon fans typically are only fans that like metal and heavy music. There's not anything wrong with that, but when you've got people who only like that kind of music, no, they're not going to enjoy this new album. And that's fine as long as you're not being a dick about it. Because I do understand why people do feel betrayed and annoyed by this, but you do have to accept an artist wants to change and grow. And now this album, they've even said themselves, this doesn't necessarily reflect the direction that they're going to be going in the future. This is just sort of, they're putting it out there and seeing what happens. So yes, it's successful as in it's really shook up the music landscape. There's nothing ever quite like this album that's had this much success before. But the songs themselves, a lot of them individually when you go through, some of them are a bit underwhelming. Yes, there's some really good ones like Mantra, Wonderful Life, Sugar, Honey and Iced Tea, Nihilist Blues and Why You Gotta Kick Me When I'm Down. Some of my favourites, but I could list quite a few more that I did really enjoy. And I did enjoy a lot of the music off the album, but personally, besides Mantra, there's nothing I really loved off this album. And I think that's what a lot of fans are feeling. It's an alright album musically. It's just okay, it does the job, but with the hype this band had going into it, we expected so much better than this, like rather than just okay. So I don't think musically it was exactly a success with their older fans, with some of them really hating it and fully disregarding it, and really just not liking the new direction Bring Me have gone in. But then when you look at music fans in general, I think this album has been a much more of a success for them. Because, well, these kind of people who didn't like their older heavier songs, these kind of people were more open to this new experimental style and the softer sounds. So it's been very successful in bringing new people to the band who wouldn't previously have enjoyed their old sound. Now as making an impact, I think this album has been very successful because the kind of influence that Bring Me have had in the past, they've always been one step ahead of the curve. When they jumped away from deathcore, when they moved away from metalcore, and when they started introducing electronic sounds into their rock, they've always been one step ahead of the other bands. And bands who used to be similar to them, who kept doing their own thing, have just sort of faded away a bit now and aren't as important as they used to be. Then you see other bands who get accused of copying Bring Me and following them on this Curves band, like Asking Alexandria and Amity Affliction, who both tried to copy this, like their most recent changes into like softer and more electronic style music, and both of them hasn't worked out as well as a few other bands. So Bring Me's new album will certainly have an impact on the music scene that I'm sure we'll see over the next couple of years of new bands jumping on, trying to follow this trend. Because Bring Me are going to be successful no matter what they do, it's just a matter of how successful. So I think really when you look on it as a whole, AMO was a success for some people and for some reasons, and other reasons it was not a success. But I think overall, with the impact it's had, being able to be played on mainstream radio, getting #1 in the UK is quite an achievement. So I think it was a success, even though understandably not everyone will enjoy this album.